Yo, what's up, guys? Teacher Polo here, and today we are reacting to this is a beginner Korean course. So I hope I learned a little bit of Korean here, and I hope my pronunciation is not horrible here. This is a request from Nami, so thank you so much, Nami. 감사합니다. This is from the channel called Learn Korean with Go, Billy Korean. So let's go. Let's check it out. Billy, go. Let's learn a little bit of Korean here, guys. Billy Goes, Beginner Korean Course, Intro to Korean.
Hello everyone, welcome back and welcome to your first full lesson in this curriculum. Today we're going to be learning about Hangul. Now what is Hangul? Han means Korea and Kul means letters. And Hangul is the name
Korean
of the
alphabet.
Korean alphabet which you're going to be using to write Korean with. Now there are officially 14 consonants and 10 vowels in Hangul, and we're going to be...
What? You have 10 vowels. In English, we have A, E, I, O, U. That's 5. You have double the vowels. Oh, but maybe they are inflections, right? Of the same letters?
Learning all of them. Hangul was created by King Sejong in 1446. Now, before Hangul existed, most Koreans were actually illiterate. They weren't able to read or write, and only wealthy people who were really highly educated were able to learn the Chinese language.
Okay.
Now, fortunately, learning Hangul only takes a few hours, and we're actually going to be doing it faster than that in this course. But before we learn the alphabet, I wanted to talk about something that you might see called romanization. Now, what is romanization?
Romanization.
It's writing Korean using the Roman alphabet or English alphabet. Here are some examples of how you could write a few words using romanization. Well, for Hangul, you have these three.
Thank you. Oh, guys, look at this. We have the Lord of the Rings on our wish list, and we just got a contribution. If you want us to, react to Lord of the Rings, us, I mean me and my wife, go over to the wish list and, drop a contribution so that we can hit that goal ASAP.
Hangul or Hangul. And here's an example of a sentence. 한국어는 정말 재미있는 언어입니다. Written as...
Wait a second, but do you normally use this or no? Or is this just for foreigners who are learning? Or is it becoming more and more common to use Roman letters?
Well, let's see if you can read that. And finally, 동림문 can be written as 동림문, Toklip moon, or dog rib moon. And there are more. So the basic point is avoid romanization. It cannot accurately represent Korean sounds, Korean meanings, or even the Korean spelling, and it will only hurt your progress the longer you stick with it.
But you know what's the funny thing is, here on the channel we have a lot of Koreans, and when I ask, how do I say tree in Korean? Some of you send me the Hangul, and I'm like, I don't know how to read that. See, just like that, like, I don't know how to read that. So for me to be able to know what I'm trying to pronounce, I need the romanization. So Namu, I think. There you go.
Never heard of romanization before, then don't worry, you don't need to use it. We're going to be using the actual Korean alphabet for learning Korean, and that's the best way. So let's jump right into the language, and we're going to be learning our first letter in Hangul, and that is this one, which is a vowel. Now in English, we have vowels such as A, E, I, O, U, and consonants like every other letter. In Korean, it works similarly. You'll combine consonants together with vowels to form sounds. Now, this vowel actually has the sound of ah, but you won't be able to...
Do you know how I know this? Because for Estella, I thought it was an L because of la. And because of that song that we saw, La La La, it had this part. And then so the L is like a 2, kind of like, it looks like a 2, right? I got one right so far.
Hear that until we've added a consonant. In Korean, every vowel needs a consonant in order to have a sound. Just
What?
writing a vowel or a consonant by itself in Korean has no sound. So
How do I
before I
spell?
can actually teach you this, we're
Oh.
going to need our first consonant. So let's put that
Ah.
up on the screen. Now this is our first consonant. You don't need to stress too much about how to write these. We'll come back to them.
Okay.
Let's take a look at this consonant. It is going to be pronounced kind of like a K or a G, but you'll see when you actually can hear what it sounds like. Now, so far, we've only learned these two letters. We had that vowel, which I said was like an ah sound, and this new consonant, which kind of has a K or a G sound. So we're going to be putting them together to form what are called syllables, which we can actually pronounce in Korean.
Okay.
But before we learn all of the rest of the letters, there are a few things that I first want to mention. Every syllable, every possible sound that you can make in Korean needs to have at least one consonant and at least one vowel. So consonants and vowels will come together to form syllables. Syllables are basically any sound that you can make with one mouth movement. And again, each syllable needs at least one vowel and one consonant, or it cannot be pronounced. But before we can just put those letters together, there's one more thing that we need to talk about, and that is...
But before we talk about that, how do I spell things in Korean if I'm writing it? For example, imagine a movie script where the person is saying BOULDER. How do I put that in writing if there are no like how do I do that? If I can't use the consonants? Like in the script, he looked over and said, "This is how you spell it." Yeah, but I want him to say letter by letter, right? Like I'm writing a script and I say, then the mother looked over to the father and said, "We need to get the DOG out of the room." How do I put that in a script?
Stroke order.
Oh, wait. You can't pronounce it, but you can write it.
Stroke order is the order in which you will draw the line.
I understood that part, but that's like, that is nothing to do with what I'm asking. Yeah, I know. They're not written separately one by one like in English. So I can't write any dialogue that involves spelling? Is that what you're telling me?
Stroke order. Stroke order is the order in which you will draw the lines to make each of these letters. Now, some of them will just have
Left to
one
right,
stroke,
top to
while
bottom.
others could be 2 or 3. And you need to learn the stroke order so that later you'll be able to write Korean much more quickly and recognize when other people have written Korean, perhaps in a different way than you're used to. Fortunately, stroke order is easy to learn. It just goes left to right, top to bottom. So this is important for being able to read and write quickly later on. Another thing is the stroke order can make a big difference. It might look the same to you if you draw a line from bottom to top or top to bottom, but it really can look different when you start combining those with other letters. So just like cursive in English, writing things in the right order will have a nicer flow. It'll be easier to read, faster for you to write, and will help to improve your own reading
like cursive,
later on.
yeah.
So again, left to right, then top to bottom. That's the order that you'll draw each stroke for any letter in Korean. Going back to our first vowel, which I said was ah, here is the stroke order for making it.
That's the same thing in English.
Start at the top and draw one line down to the bottom. The second stroke will be made from the middle of that first stroke to the right. Now let's look at the next consonant we have. The stroke order for this is even easier. It's just one line that goes to the right and then down. So we've talked about romanization and stroke order and making syllables. Let's just put these two together so we can finally hear what it sounds like. We get this syllable, ka.
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 Ka. He said it sounded like a G at
So
first.
before we go on to our next letter, take a
Ka.
few seconds and pause this video and try to write
Kamsamida.
down this syllable on your own. Did you get it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let's move on. So here's our next consonant, and it's pronounced kind of like an N in English. The stroke order for this one is just one stroke. It starts from the top, going down, and then to the right. All right, let's put this consonant together with our previous vowel and hear exactly what it sounds like.
Kan.
Na. Na.
Oh, he said N.
Na. It's
Okay.
not exactly like an N. It's not na. It's more like
Nah.
na.
Nah, I got that one wrong.
Again, for each of these
Now, why did I think he was gonna combine the ka with the N? That's why I said kan. Okay, so that's na.
syllables, please pause the video and make sure that
Why
you
is it
can write them
curved,
yourself before moving on. Here is our next consonant.
That's a
It's
C.
kind of like a T, but it's also kind of like a D. But really, it's neither of those. This one uses two strokes. The first is the top
bottom,
one,
left,
which goes
right,
left to
left,
right. Then the second one goes down from there and
No,
to the
okay,
right.
okay.
Practice this by yourself. You can pause the video here or anytime to practice.
So left,
So
right.
let's put this
top,
one
bottom,
again with our
left, right.
previous vowel and hear what it sounds like.
Ta.
Ta. Ta.
Ta.
Ta.
Ta.
You might think it sounds like a T or perhaps a D, but keep in mind that it is neither.
Ta.
Ta. Ta.
Ta.
I'm not saying ta, and I'm not saying da. I'm saying ta.
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 Practice by yourself. Ta.
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 Ta. Ta.
Now, we've only learned a few consonants and one vowel, but let's talk about how those are exactly forming into syllables. They use what's called a syllable block. Now, what are syllable blocks? Well, there are actually several of them. There are 6. And we've only been using one so far, which you can see on the screen here.
6 types.
Not only does stroke order go in the order of left to right, top to bottom, but also when letters are combined, they'll go in the same style in a syllable block. So here, C stands for consonant and V stands for vowel. And anytime you're working with a vowel that is vertical, meaning going up and down in some way, this is the block that you can use when you have one consonant and one vowel. Again,
Okay.
whenever you just have one consonant and one vowel, and that vowel is a vertical shape, this is the block that you will use. So the consonant will go on the left and the vowel will go on the right. So before we go, let's do a little bit of quick practice using all 3 of the consonants that we've learned in this lesson. Ka, na, ta. Pay
Kanata.
very close attention to the exact sounds that I am making because these are not the same as in English. I really want you to avoid writing any of this in the English alphabet. So once more, ka, na, ta,
Ka. Na. Ta.
na, ta,
Ka.
ka,
Na.
na,
Ta.
ta.
Kanata.
Practice it yourself a few times.
Kanata.
Practice writing these letters a few times, and I will see you again in the next episode where we'll learn even more letters.
Kanata.
그럼 다음에 또 봐.
Tamitoba. Okay. How do I spell my name? I'm gonna try to spell my name now. How do I spell my name? Kanata. That's not a real word. That's just 3 different things, right? Oh. Okay. Okay. So let's see if I can write my name down. I should, okay. Let me see if I can. That is so small though. So I have to go left, right, up, down, left, right. Up, down, left, right. How do I do this? Like that? That's Paul? Oh, where did my... What? Zoom out, zoom out. How can I zoom out? Okay, I'm zooming out. Is that my name? Is that my name? Does it look? It's nice? It's nice? Okay. That's me. Okay, that should be my thumbnail. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so I have learned a little bit of Korean today. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, 감사합니다. Thank you so much. Okay, that was a great video. Thank you so much, Nami. This is interesting. Go check out the channel. I think Billy explains it really well. So we have learned that ka, it's like ka, ga, ka. It's not a g sound. It's not glottal. It's ka, na, da, or no, it's not da. It's da, da, da. Right? Don't know. I don't sound very good trying to pronounce these, but practice makes perfect. But interesting to see that the Hangul is like that, and how, well, at least learning the strokes and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Don't know how much I'm gonna remember tomorrow, but it is something that with time you learn. But interesting facts. You don't have a vowel on its own. It always has to be a vowel and a consonant. And you have to do the strokes always left, right, up, down. These are not the same as in English, and don't use romanization. Okay, pretty cool. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to request a video, go over to Buy Me a Coffee. You can also watch full movie reactions on Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. And also, I reacted to Parasite if you want to watch, and K-pop Demon Hunters. Go watch it over there. I'm sure you're going to like it. Click over here for more, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.